really proud of this gentleman. We're proud to have a legacy aerobatic pilot, Mike Goulian, as our U.S. integral brand ambassador. Okay, say a few words.
Thank you, Drew. So this project started, as you said, quite a long time ago, 2018, with our friends from France, and it was at the time just an idea. And just a couple of years ago, my team from Mike Goulian Aviation, we went and we visited the team in Toulouse, and we not only fell in love with the airplane, but we fell in love with the company, right? And any great product, it's the people that are behind it that make it what it is. And there's a lot of great ideas, but it's the passion, the dedication, and really the know-how that makes an airplane like this work. And my family's been in the flight school business for more than 50 years, right? We've trained tens of thousands of pilots, and we've worn out a few aerobatic trainers along the way, teaching people how to fly, and we realized a few things. One, it makes a pilot much better when they can go do more than what their normal general aviation airplane can experience. So we've really introduced a lot of people not only to upset recovery training, but to also basic aerobatic training. And people that we have trained 20 years ago are still flying aerobatics through the International Aerobatic Club 20 years later in our local area. So it's a sticky sport. People love it. They come to do it. It's more than just the hamburger, right? But one of the things we realized was that the trainers that you see today are legacy trainers. They're 50 and 60 years old. And when you look at the Integral R, it does so many great things. It fits a niche in performance that is above the current training airplanes, but below the really high performance airplanes that people really, you have to be completely dedicated to competition aerobatics to want to do that. And this airplane fits the role of sport plane, enthusiast airplane, aerobatic trainer, competition aerobatic airplane, and you probably will see one or two in the airshow business in the next 5 or so years. The handling characteristics are just, they're sporty, but also representative of what people are used to. So it's not this twitchy race car that people are afraid of. You can get into it and immediately feel like, oh, this is an airplane that I'm comfortable in and I can fly it. It's super confidence inspiring. There's really no high-speed stalling or shaking. The airplane flies like it's flying in water. It's just a beautiful, beautiful airplane. And what you see out there on the flight line is some years of hard dedication and work, and something that we can 100% be immensely proud of.
Hi, we're here at Sun and Fun 2025 with Mike Goulian, and he's going to give us a little walk around of the Integral R from Aura Aero in France, yep. And an exciting new aerobatic trainer that is close to certification in the US, and he's going to tell us all about it.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. Absolutely great to be here. So I think the best way to do it was we just start with the cockpit, which is one of the things that I find is so great about this airplane, especially as an aerobatic trainer. As you can see, it's a side-by-side cockpit, and when we're training aerobatic flying, to be able to be right next to the person, to be able to look them in the eye, make them comfortable while they're doing something that they might not actually be comfortable with, especially if you're coming from a technically advanced airplane and your yaw dampers on the whole time. Well, now you're going to learn how to use your feet and your hands to fly the airplane and be at one with the airplane, which is what we're so excited about. Is it's really going to help the general aviation community fly a lot better and be better aviators. So side-by-side seating. Obviously there's a Garmin G3X touch panel in there. There's throttle and mixture control for both pilots. The airplane also has a whole airframe parachute system, which we find really very confidence-inspiring behind the cockpit. It's very easy to get in and out of the airplane like a P-51 or a Corsair. There's a great handhold here that you can't see. You get up in the airplane, it's perfect. When you look at the ailerons, like any other aerobatic airplane that you would have, you see the ailerons are quite long. So the roll rate is really beautiful, and Very crisp, but again, not overly sensitive. So somebody that's learning how to fly in this airplane, doing aerobatics for the first time, the airplane's not, if you will, jittery. It's very, very smooth to fly. If you're not familiar with what this is a lighting device for competition aerobatics. This is your attitude indicator. So when you're going to pull vertical, you would lay this on the horizon. If you're going to pull 45 degrees, you would lay this on the horizon as well. There's really 3 fuel tanks. If you think about it, there's cross-country fuel tanks in each wing, so the leading edge has fuel, and then there's also a center fuel tank, which is the aerobatic fuel tank. Again, very similar to what you have in all of the other aerobatic airplanes. So the inverted aerobatic tank is here. The airplane sits very tall, it's very nice. It has a Lycoming IO390 engine in it, and we have gone ahead, and this is the first airplane in the world with the first integral in the world that has the Hartzell propeller on it, the composite propeller. It's worked very, very well, and even though the airplane has these beautiful small inlets, it actually cools very, very well. The engine runs at a very nice temperature. The oil temperature doesn't get too high, so even in the summer months, it's very, very good to fly the airplane without any engine heating problems at all. Right, it's about an 8.5 G airplane, so it's quite strong. You can also push a bunch of negative G with it. It's really quite a good handling airplane. And we tried to make all of the good modern things. So Hartzell propellers, Lycoming engines, Garmin G3X Touch, Whelen lights on it from Watt. So really all of the things that people in the general aviation world today expect in their airplanes is what we've put into the Integral. If we look at the design of the airplane, it has a very beautiful flat belly. So for those of the people that are going to do sportsman and intermediate style competition, it presents what we call a beautiful light. It presents really well in the sky. So when we're judging very small degrees off of vertical and over rolling and so forth, if you're flying it well, you'll get rewarded. If you're not flying it well, that's another story, I think. But it's really one of the great things. The airplane looks just fantastic in the sky. And taking some of its heritage from the Cap series, see that in the tail. Has a beautiful elevator. Again, the airplane is very sensitive, but not overly sensitive. It's just a beautiful airplane to fly. The rudder, as you can see, is also quite large, so the airplane is extremely maneuverable and extremely controllable, and it has really amazing handling characteristics. We've been flying the airplane quite a bit, doing aerobatics and competition flying in it, and it's just been a fantastic airplane with really 0 bad habits. The last thing I would say about it that's really nice is it tracks extremely well for ground handling, even in some pretty strong winds.